Okay, we're ready to begin with UNLV. We have student athletes Rejan Varon, Kelly Thompson, Coach Kathy Olivier. Coach, if we could start with you, just some general comments on today's game.
Well, I thought we did a great job in the first 5 or 6 minutes. We came out, we were ready to play. We had great energy. We were moving the ball, working together. Defensively, really got after it and got some easy baskets. We hit a little lull there in the first half, and they jumped up another level, and that's when they pretty much got control of the game. I thought Rejan was amazing in the first half, did so many positive things on the floor. Kelly Thompson did a great job getting her teammates involved. But again, New Mexico, you got to give it up to New Mexico. They did a really good job defensively on the Mountain West leading scorer, and just kind of made her life miserable today. Just double teamed and switched off a lot. And when you have really 8 healthy players, it gets rough when you're going 8 against, I don't know how many they have, like 12. But I thought our team showed a lot of character and a lot of fight.
Thank you, Coach. Now we'll open up for questions for the student athletes. Yes, please.
Mark Anderson, Las Vegas View Journal. Ray John, it looked like they really collapsed on you after that early start by you. Where you really didn't touch the ball at all. How frustrating was that? And Kelly, did you feel like once they kind of took Rejan out of the game, you kind of had to press and do more things?
It wasn't frustrated because, obviously if they're all homies, somebody's open. So, somebody else has to step up. But we just, I just had to keep playing and don't worry about the defense, I guess. But, Kelly has nice shots. It was a good thing, obviously, they was collapsing on me because it was Danny Miller was open, Kelly was open, Amy got some good baskets. So it was a team effort.
Frustrating is understatement for me. Great defense, that's all you can say. I didn't have a clean anything. When I tied my shoe, she bent down with me. So the young one stepped up. This kid had 19 and 9, and what freshman gets double teamed and ends up with 19 and 9. Amy played awesome. Armani played awesome. Danielle took over when she needed to take over and played awesome. So as much as I had a bad game, the young ones stepped up just like they've done all year. We fell short, but they played their tails off, and that's all I can ask for.
Other questions? Yeah, where?
Kelly, obviously emotional. Just talk about what's going through your mind, after the game, just knowing it's your last game.
I told the young ones, season starts tomorrow for them. Wherever I go is wherever I go. If it's WNBA overseas, wherever my journey may take me. I told them be ready for next year. With Mia Bell healthy, with Elena healthy, with Brianna healthy, and with Allie Rowley eligible because she's a transfer. These kids are going to be amazing. They work hard, and I feel like we just reached our peak. When we played New Mexico the second time at the pit, I think that's when we finally started gelling. And it sucks that it was so late in the year, but they're not kids anymore. You can't use youth as an excuse anymore. So myself, I'm ready for them. Like I told them, get it done, and I'll be here for the tournament next year. I gave UNLV my everything. I stayed loyal to my school, and once a rebel, always a rebel in my eyes.
And 2 years in a row, same team, you're the higher seed. I mean, I can imagine what's going through your mind in that regard.
It's hard to beat any team 3 times in a row. You could be the Lakers for all I care. You play the first one and fix what happened for the second one, and you play the second one and fix what happened for the third, and that's what they did. Coach was telling me their press release was if they stop me, then they'll be better off, and that's what they did. Like I said, the young ones stepped up when they needed to step up, but it wasn't enough. Hats off to New Mexico and their defense tonight.
We're here. Right behind you.
Hi, Ken Rodriguez from theredminutes.com. For either you guys or both of you, How frustrating or strange is it to play in basically your own building and have that kind of support for the opposing team like the Lobos?
Strange? I wouldn't say strange. That's what they do. I'm pretty sure if they played in Alaska, they'd have 4,000 or 5,000 people there. They're a great fan base. That's what they do. You know, this is the Pit West to them. So loyal fans are everything. When you have a crowd like that, it gives you that much energy boost. I'm not saying that we didn't have that energy, but that's the Lobos for you. That's what they do.
I understand you guys play normally in the pavilion as opposed to Thomas and Mack. Was that was that strange for you guys, or?
No. As much as it's home, it's not. You know, I tried to tell them as much as this is our home, we need to get into tournament mode. Pretend that we traveled, pretend that we are somewhere else so that we play with that extra umph. You know, you always want to have home court advantage per se, but I feel like when you say we have home court advantage, we kind of lax and we kind of play like this is our home. So it's not strange. I wish, you know, we would have gave it that more energy, or we would have gotten to tournament mode a little faster, but that's just how the ball rolls.
Any other questions for our student athletes? Okay, we'll dismiss them at this time. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, you guys.
Questions for our coach now?
Kathy, it looked like after Rajan had that incredible start that they just really collapsed there and were determined that they were going to let her beat them. Just, do you think that put extra pressure on the other players? It looked like Kelly started pressing. They could never really seem to get in a rhythm. Do you think that was really the key?
Well, I thought they definitely picked it up defensively. I didn't really see much of a double. I thought they just got really physical with Rajan, and then they were switching off every time. I mean, we like to set a lot of on-ball screens. They switched off every time for Kelly. And, you know, when you do that, you got to move the ball. We tended to dribble a lot, and I think we're a better basketball team when we move the ball. But, I mean, Kelly Thompson's had an incredible career here, 4 years of just nothing but relentless hard work. You know, and again, like she said, hats off to New Mexico's D. They had a good game plan. They did a job on the #1 score in the conference. She was frustrated, and she wasn't, but she, you know, she didn't get the looks that she likes to get. She didn't get any clean ones, and I think she had 2 or 3 clean ones, and she hit both of those. So it's tournament time. The game's a little different. It gets a little more physical, and I thought Rajan just had a great freshman year. Just got after it, was very aggressive on the boards, and yeah, we probably should have maybe ran some more offenses for her, but New Mexico had that defense that kind of took us out of what we wanted to do.
So was it mostly the defense denying the pass into her rather than that's really what it was?
That's what I saw. Again, I'm better after I watch the film, but usually we do a lot of screen and rolls, and our guards find a way to get our post players the ball, and we didn't really do that today. We just I thought we looked to attack a little more. We normally get to the free throw line a lot more than our opponents, and when we did get to the free throw line, we didn't make a high percentage. We've been shooting the ball so well from the free throw line this year, over 72% as a team, and today, what were we final? 69% from the line. I mean, that hurts a team like us. That's where we score. So they had a good game plan. Yvonne does a good job with this group. They have more seniors than us. They've, you know, deeper than us. And we swept them in conference and then come out here. First game of the conference tournament, it's rough. You know, it's hard. And they looked very comfortable, and we got a little skittish when they picked it up a level.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
You had your first year here. You had that great run in the tournament,
Yep.
and since then it's just been frustration. Is it anything you can put your finger on? I mean, a couple times I think you were the lower seed, but what do you do as far as reversing that trend?
Yeah, I mean, We talked about it all week in practice, just the intensity level needs to go up. We had great leadership. Kelly was talking about it all week. Again, I think we have a basketball team that they want it so bad, and when you want it so bad, sometimes you try to do too much, and that's not what basketball is about. It's a team game. So you got to make sure that you trust each other and move the ball, and when we do that, we're a much better team. We did that, when we played them the first time at the pit. We didn't do it as much this time, and back to the drawing board. This is when it counts the most. Maybe we got to put in some new things come tournament time, but we were down on numbers, so we were fighting that whole thing. We talked about it as a staff, but when you have really, we were playing 6 or 7 players. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to change things too much. So again, it's hard to take, and hopefully our team will use this for motivation over the summer.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
Certainly was never as good as Diva, so I can't sit there.
Okay, for New Mexico, we have student athletes Caroline Durbin, Diva Vaughn, Coach Yvonne Sanchez. Coach, if we could start with you, just some general comments on today's game.
First I'd like to congratulate UNLV and Kathy Olivier. She's done a terrific job here. She really has. And, her team was down a little bit. They had some injuries. Trust me, we understand that. But she's a terrific coach, and she does a great job with this program. So I'd like to congratulate her and her program for a solid year, and they did a great job. Very proud of my kids. Very proud of my staff, who are excellent. It's not easy guarding Kelly Thompson for 40 minutes, and we did it by committee. They did a terrific job. They went in there and played their hearts out, and I'm so proud of this group. And we live to see another day.
Thank you, Coach. Now we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Jeff Grammer, Albuquerque Journal, kind of Ken Sickinger guy. I'm just curious, you guys down 19-8 in the first half for either one of the student athletes. What changed about midway through that first half? What did you guys do differently to turn what was their game for a while into your game?
I feel that we came out more aggressive as the aggressors, and I feel that we didn't want it to be like the first couple of games that we played against them, and we just put our foot down basically and stopped them defensively, and that's when our offense came into play.
Feel free to chime in.
Right here.
Hey girls, Ken Rodriguez from the redmenace.com. So second half, it seemed like you guys had a little more aggressive drive to the basket. Did they do something differently defensively, or did you guys make a shift at halftime?
I think we wore them down a little bit. Like Coach said, they're down with injuries. We have a pretty deep bench, so we were able to wear them down, and we kind of got rid of the jitters that we had, and we're able to just be aggressive and play our game.
Mark Anderson, Las Vegas View Journal. For either player, you did this last year. It's an even lower seed against UNLV. Did you think maybe, especially when you came back and made took the lead that maybe you had the mental edge at that point? Maybe UNLV would get tight?
I feel like they definitely brought it up, like with their defense in the second half, and were more aggressive, towards us than they were in the first half. But overall, I feel like it was a really good game.
And we wanted to make sure, we came back against them last year late. They're capable of doing the same thing, so we were able to hold them off, though.
Talk a little bit about just the variations you guys were able to give them on and who was scoring. I mean, Antisha really kind of picked it up in the second half, and both of you guys were able to pretty consistently score on them. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, Antisha showed why she's the 6th player of the year. She did great off the bench, and I think our offense was really clicking. We were finding each other. Everyone was able to play their game, and, we just rolled from there.
Like Caroline said, I feel like we were in flow, and everyone says that we do really good in the conference tournament, and I feel like we did that a lot today.
Caroline, end of the first half, you hit 2 3-pointers to send it into halftime. Obviously, I imagine those felt good, but can you talk about what those 2 3-pointers going into the break probably meant momentum-wise for this team?
It was really great. I mean, it almost felt like the end of the game, but we had a second half to come play, and it just got us on a roll, I think, for the second half. That's the only thing, and gave people confidence to shoot, including myself.
Hi, Thomas Morales from the Daily Lobo. What do you think in both of your minds was the key to stopping Kelly Thompson? I mean, really stifle the game today?
Definitely face guarding her and locking her down to make sure she got limited touches and was not loose and able to just do what she wanted to do.
I think switching off on her, the posts were able to guard her, which a lot of teams can't do. Our posts are really good defenders. And I think for guards, all the breakdowns that we do in practice, in guard work, that really helped us to guard her.
So guys, Antisha comes off the bench and scores 21 for you guys to lead the team. And she didn't even start the season with you guys. She kind of came in halfway through. Talk about just what she brings differently to the team as opposed to beginning of the season when you guys were playing without her.
Tisha's always coming in looking to make something happen, to score, get steals, get rebounds. So she's a great spark off the bench, and also gives us a good rotation at that 2 or 3 spot. We can keep rotating, me, Sarah, Tish, even Jamie, and it's a really good rotation for us at that spot.
And based on her having to sit out a year, I feel like that's her drive too as well, to sit back and having to watch us play. Now she's, stepping up and saying it's our turn now.
You guys are both vets on the team, and she seems to have kind of the same stature during games as you guys do, which is unusual for a sophomore. Talk about that just a little bit, and having that kind of a teammate that's that young.
Yeah, I mean, she's been around our team last year, which I think had some good leaders she was able to learn from, and she has stepped up this year, being someone that the younger players, the freshmen or even others can look to her what to do during the game.
Also, this is her first full year or half year of actually playing D1 basketball, and I feel like this is her breakout, actually being able to play and contribute to the team.
Here.
Hi, J.R. Oppenheim, Daily Lobo. A lot of people have been calling this the Pit West, and just not only with the men, they got crazy last night, but they were also crazy again tonight. Can you talk about just the fan and how they were able to motivate you if they were able to do so?
Oh, they're amazing. Like I said, I've been saying this is like a home away from home when they come and support us, and I feel that they do help us out tremendously. Just being there and just cheering us on.
I think a lot of them come out that maybe don't usually come out even to the pit during the regular season, some of the men's fans, and to have them come here and be able to watch some of our games is really great, and it's a great atmosphere.
Okay, we'll dismiss the student athletes at this time. Thank you, ladies. I'll take questions for Coach Sanchez, starting right here.
Coach, first half, you guys have a 10-minute stretch where you hold them without a field goal after a good start for them. Can you talk about what switched at about 19-8 was the score that I think that started at? What switched for you guys defensively and kind of turned the game around in that first half?
You know, we started out a little jittery. We took Kelly Thompson out, and that was our game plan. We were face guarding her. The person on her had no help responsibilities. And then they kind of got loose there. They were driving. Their posts were getting loose. They got layups. And it was a good start for them. They did a nice job when she was gone. But I kept telling our kids, look, just keep running, okay? Run your offense, run the fast break, run them. And our plan was to eventually wear them down. Right around that 10-minute mark, the jitters were out a little bit. We got in a flow. Diva hit 2 high-post jump shots right away. We got in that scoring column, and then we got back on track. And we were down 2, and then it would be tied for a little bit. They were up 1, down 1, and then we just didn't look back. And our defense really stepped it up, I thought, when we locked down the post a little bit better, and they couldn't find Thompson.
Coming into this game, obviously you guys are facing a team that beat you twice in the regular season. And, yeah, I know you guys had a lot of confidence coming into this game. How does that work with the team sweeping you in the regular season? Yeah, I think top to bottom on the roster, you guys had a confidence coming into this game. Why is that?
Selective memory. You can't it's season 3. In season 3, it's a 3-game race. Everybody was 0-0 in season 3. This is how we started out. So, yeah, you learn from it. We watch a lot of film. We make sure that we made the adjustments we made that we didn't do in the second or first game. And, you know, that's what it's all about. It's really not about changing everything, but it's tweaking a few things. The one thing that was obvious was we took out Thompson. And she's been the silent killer against us. She's a fantastic player. And one of the best in our conference. Conference leading scorer. She had 29 against us and had the great old board putback at our place. Or actually, we fouled her, and we just wanted to make somebody else beat us. Now, that being said, Vernon's a terrific freshman, and they've got very good players, so they're going to be back for a while. But we just felt our adjustment was to take Thompson out and try to just D up the other players.
Coach, how important were those the 2 3-pointers there at half? It seemed like it could go either way, and then to go in with the momentum seemed to really buoy you guys.
You know, there was a 1 or 2 point advantage either team going into that, and Caroline got a little bit of room, and we were a little bit stagnant on that possession, if you remember. And Caroline just turned and faced it, gave her a little room, and she hit a nice 3. We go down and get a great defensive stand, and we run what we call our last play. It's about 8-9 seconds or less. We run it in practice, and they ran it to perfection. And they did a very nice job and the key is that the person throwing it in. So they did a nice job. Tish threw it in, found Bryce, and Caroline got loose, hit 2 threes. And it was just a very well-executed play by our players.
Coach, towards the end, they get that little bit of a rush on you guys. It looks like they're getting the momentum, kind of maybe turning it around. You guys were able to get into the media timeout. What did you tell the players at that point?
Just finish the game. You know, they did a nice job on their inbound. We went under the handoff, and the kid hit a 3. So it was 57-60, or it was a 3-point game at that point. And we had to finish the game. And so you get them all in. You know, the momentum's swinging a little bit. But I told them, look, all you need is a stop. You know, go get a score, then a stop, O-board put back, and then we're going to be shooting free throws. The biggest thing is that's been our Achilles heel, and we shot in the 80s, and I believe it was 84% from the free throw line. And that was a difference. You know, traditionally we haven't gone to the line much, and that was this year. I credit our players, 21 for 25 from the free throw line, and I think that might have been the most free throws we shot in a game. They did a great job of drawing fouls, O-board putbacks, and then finishing that. And I thought that was the difference in the game.
You mentioned taking out Kelly Thompson, which by itself is hard enough, but then you managed to take out Varen on top of that. How are your players able to handle both responsibilities so well?
Varen is very good, and she still got 19 and 9 on us, and she just finds a way. She's a heck of a freshman. I think we got some post players that match up a little bit with her, so we were able to, maybe limit her touches a little bit or keep her off the boards. But, when it was time for her to play, she played. So getting 19 and 9, I'm not sure we neutralized her much. She's 7 for 13, 5 for 6 from the line. She's just a heck of a player. But then not having the 1-2 punch, I think that's what helped us. Because if you watch film and you've seen him a bunch, God, Thompson, Varen, it's a very good 1-2 punch. And then some of the other ones, Miller will take, a couple threes and hit them. Point guard will take a couple threes and hit them, and they're very good at that. We took the greater of two evils in Thompson, and God, she's a heck of a player, and I think she'll be playing at the next level. But we took our chance in that and adjusted and said, all right, everybody else is one-on-one, and we got to score more points.
Coach, Antisha Brown comes in mid-season, and she meshed really well with the team immediately, it seemed like, tonight, and obviously tonight she was a big factor. How much of that is her, and how much in her temperament, and how much is it just having the year under her belt playing with the girls off the court?
Right. Having the year really helped. When she transferred mid-season, but she was with our kids all the time. She practiced with our kids all the time, and December couldn't have come soon enough for her. She's a terrific high-energy kid. She's a New Mexico kid. It's great to have her on our side. It really is, and having 2 more years now, and finishing this season off, she's terrific. She brings a lot of spirit. She brings a lot of enthusiasm, and her defense was terrific. And everybody will see the 21 points, but for the most part, with her in there, her responsibility was to guard Thompson. And to be your leading scorer and guard the opponent's leading scorer is not easy to do. And she did a terrific job with it, as well as the rest of the committee that switched off on her.
Coach, and just talk about the opportunity to bring her to UNM. I mean, she comes out of Clovis and goes to Texas Tech and doesn't get the opportunity there. You're able to bring her to New Mexico. Just talk about that opportunity of being able to coach her.
Well, it was a great opportunity because we recruited her early on, and she chose Tech. And we just got an opportunity to get her the second time around. And she's a terrific kid. She's a very good student. I mean, she brings all the intangibles. So the opportunity she saw in New Mexico was as good for her as it was for us. And we had a need for her. She had a need to want to get on the court, and it's just worked out well for us.
One more, the obligatory kind of Pitt West question for you and the fans.
I mean, this is my 13th year coming to the Mountain West tournament, and it's just, you get goosebumps every single time. I never get tired of it. I never take it for granted. You never just say, oh, ho-hum, we have 5,000 fans. It is just unbelievable. I get goosebumps with our fans. They are the most loyal fans, I believe, anywhere. And they are just, you can't describe it. You really can't. And being from New Mexico and watching the Lobos play my entire life, it seems like, and especially on the men's side, there's nothing like it. There's just absolutely nothing like it. Steve and I are very good friends. We're each other's biggest fans, and I love New Mexico. I love being part of this program, and you couldn't drag me away if you tried. You just couldn't. It's a pride more than anything else, and I'm just so fortunate. I thank God every day that I'm part of this program.
You talked about the free throws earlier, and then, like you said, you struggle at the line all season. What was it like to get a performance like that against UNLV at the line specifically?
It was terrific, and that shows the grit of our kids. We shoot free throws every day. We don't harp on, don't miss, don't miss. It's muscle memory, it's repetition, it's saying good things to yourself, it's being positive, and you got to continue to do that. You can't beat yourself up. So you miss the first one, get off the line and say good things to yourself. Basketball is such a quick game that you can't dwell on what happened 2 seconds ago. And they did a nice job of that. They were very, very focused today. And that has to continue for tomorrow's performance because obviously San Diego State's not too bad. but it's a good performance and it's a good focus for our kids.
Can you talk about the matchup against San Diego State? I know the first game it did not go your way at all. They kind of blew you guys out. In the second game, you closed just down 10 points at halftime, and then they were able to blow open the game again. What do you have to do to have a chance?
You know, we have to limit our turnovers, and we can't let our turnovers or even our shots create fast break opportunities for them. Hopkins doesn't have to score, and she's about as good of a point guard as you'll see. I mean, she started at Duke, didn't work out there, came to San Diego State, so she's incredible. Clement is a great 1-2 punch for them, and then Arima is playing very, very well, and so are their other bigs. But again, you know, we got to get in there and be physical and be tough, take it at them, limit our mistakes, and not play on our heels. There's no tomorrow. And our kids are excited to be part of this. Our kids are focused for the next task at hand. And it's not easy, but nothing good comes easy. And, you know, we're going to get there tomorrow and give it our best shot.
One last question. You said a couple of weeks back that it would have been nice to beat UNLV at the pit. You guys lost by 1 point. How satisfying was this victory?
You know, every victory is satisfying because victories in this conference or in this profession don't come easy. They just don't. We've got some great coaches. Kathy is one of them in this league. And just to get a victory against a conference opponent, everyone is satisfied.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.